we're really glad that you signed up to pray alongside of us this week. And as I come to you today, we're just going to be praying through and talking through Psalm 90. And the psalm starts in verse 1, and it talks about how God has been our dwelling place and faithful through generations and from everlasting to everlasting. And a great place to start praying together today would be just that we pause and pray and adore God for who he is and the heart of God that we know and the character of God that he displays. And then it goes on later in the psalm, and it says, teach us to number our days that we would gain a heart of wisdom. And I think if we all pause and pray today and say, God, would you teach us to number our days? You know, tomorrow is not guaranteed for us, for Thrive Church, but God knows and has plans for all of us and good works to do. And if we're praying that together, God, would you teach us to number our days that we would live wisely, we would pursue what you have. He'll be faithful to answer that. So would you pray that with me now, God, that you would teach us to number our days, that we would live wisely and focus on what matters most. Then in another verse it comes and it says, would you satisfy me in the morning with your unfailing love, that I would sing and be glad for all of my days. And I think a great prayer for us to join our hearts together is to say, God, would you satisfy us with your unfailing love? Nothing else satisfies like the love of Christ. But if we can all pray that individually in our lives and as a church, that we would be satisfied by Jesus Christ the most and not pursue the things of the world, and to be responding with joyful singing and worship for who God is and what he's done, we can pray that together and see what he does as a result. And then lastly, there's a verse that it says, may the favor of the Lord be upon us. Would you establish the work of our hands? Yes, establish the work of our hands. And so we just put that before the Lord and we say, God, it is your work that we desire to do in our personal lives and as a church. And would you establish that for us? So we just pray that, Lord, would you bring your favor to our lives and to our church's work? And would you establish what you have for us to do? Would it be about you, for you, to make him known? And so as we lift these things together and pray together, may God be honored, and may we see him answer these as we know he abundantly will. Thanks.